So I came up with another idea on how to use the hand-stitched journal cover to make these little mats out of fabric. I'm going to try to walk you through it. I'm with some short videos on how I did this. Basically, you start with fabric. I'll give you the dimensions. I'm doing each side differently, but you can actually do them with the same fabric on both sides, which I did the original ones. But just because I wanted to be different, I chose 4 fabrics. You're going to need 2 for each panel. Sorry, I didn't mean panel. I meant the runners. So then I also used this product. It's by ThermoWeb. It's called Heat and Bond Ultra Hold. It's an iron-on fusible that will put your fabrics together. When you purchase it, it comes with a piece of plastic in between, and it does give you instructions, and they're easy to follow. The best advice I can say is that you don't need to use steam, but use a hot iron, and be careful when you fuse it. I like to use parchment paper on the bottom and the top when I'm fusing, just to make sure that there's none of the adhesive gets on my iron or on my ironing board. Also a good tip, just so you know, this product cannot be sewn through. So if you want to sew, you have to use a different form of the adhesive. But the Ultra Hold fusible, you cannot sew through. It will gum up your needle and it will make a mess. So basically, you want to cut your fabrics at least 12.5 to at least 13 inches in length, and then 7 inches wide. You want to cut 2 panels, whether it's be the same fabric or different fabrics, for each of your runners. And then you're going to cut 1 panel of the Ultra Hold. When it comes to fusing, you want to have one of the right side down and the wrong side facing you. And then you will lay the interfacing or the fusible on top of it and iron around and make sure that it is adhering, and then let it cool slightly, and then you peel away the backing. Okay. All right, the interfacing, the Ultra Hold is adhered to one side of the fabric. So it's ironed on. I will remove the backing paper, and if anything sticks, you just remove it. You can see it is adhered to the one side of the fabric. As you can see, the 2 pieces of fabric are fused together, with the interfacing in the middle, holding them together. Here's where the die comes in. You're only going to use the cover part of the die. You're going to fold the fabric in half where to make it fit the cover, and you're going to lay it over your die, where the bottom is going to make sure that the areas that are not fused are below the scallop. The fabric should be wide enough to cover from the end of the die to where the straight line is over here. Now you want to fold back the area that's folded so that it's just below where the holes are for stitching your journal cover. So you formed your Sizzix sandwich, you've run it through your die cutter, your die cutting machine, and now you're going to remove the excess fabric, and you have your 2-sided little runner to put underneath something for the holidays as a decoration. Let's go over those steps again for fusing, folding, and cutting. This is the second panel. So I'm going to fold over. This is where the fusing ends. I'm going to fold over and make a fold. I'm going to lay the fused end a little bit over where the scalloped edge is. The piece is folded, and then I'm folding it over again to go just below the holes where you would be stitching if you were making a journal cover. I'm going to make my Sizzix sandwich, and I'm going to die cut it. Through my Big Shot Plus, I'm going to remove the top layer. I'm going to remove the die cut edges, and here again I have another reversible little runner. Here are both of them with a green fabric on one side and a red fabric on the opposite side. And if you're worried about the edges fraying, you can get a product called Fray Check and just brush it a little bit on each of the edges. I have not had issues with the curves, but possibly some of the straight edges. And there you go. You have 2 decorations to use underneath something, candles or other things for your holiday decorating.